Rumors surrounding the alleged arrests of Zhang Youxia and Zhenli have spread rapidly in recent days. On January 23rd, Michael Flynn, a former senior U.S. intelligence official, commented on the situation, describing it as a coup within the CCP. Flynn also explicitly named Xi Jinping, warning that domestic turmoil in China will not end well. Coup within the CCP. On January 23rd, Flynn, former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency and former National Security Advisor, retweeted a post by independent commentator Kai Shenkun, adding the following remarks: "Breaking news. A coup appears to be underway within the Chinese Communist Party. There are clear signs of significant turmoil within the CCP and its military leadership. These developments resemble a coup, and their consequences could directly affect U.S. foreign policy, U.S. military deployments in the Indo-Pacific region, and the future trajectory of U.S.-China relations. General Secretary Xi, be prepared, because internal turmoil in China will not end well." Flynn also tagged Marco Rubio, Pete Hegseth, and China analyst Gordon Chang in the post. Gordon Chang later commented, "If China's highest-ranking active-duty military officer, along with more than 15 other senior figures, has indeed been removed from the command structure, then a serious question arises. Does the world's largest army still have anyone firmly in control?" The question of whether Zhang Youxia is still alive has continued to trigger intense debate across Chinese-language media and overseas Chinese communities. While a disappearance does not automatically mean death under the CCP's highly opaque, black box political system, history shows that prolonged absences by senior figures often signal developments far more serious than routine illness or travel. In many past cases, silence has served as the prelude to political downfall, investigation, or internal purges. What has further fueled speculation is the contrasting reappearance of Xu Taifeng, head of the CCP organization department. Both Zhang Youxia and Xu Taifeng were absent from the opening ceremony of the CCP's special seminar for provincial and ministerial level officials. However, on January 23rd, Xu Taifeng unexpectedly resurfaced to preside over the seminar's closing ceremony, while Zhang Youxia remained conspicuously absent. This asymmetry immediately drew attention, as the CCP typically prioritizes public appearances to dispel rumors when senior leaders face health or political questions. According to CCTV, on January 23rd, Kai Chi, a member of the Politburo Standing Committee and secretary of the CCP Central Secretariat, attended the seminar and delivered a summary speech. Xu Taifeng hosted the ceremony and sat alongside Kai Chi. Xu Taifeng also holds the post of vice chairman of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference. Yet he had previously been absent from the Hongguan Economic Situation Analysis Conference, convened by the CPPCC on January 21st, 2025. Earlier reports suggested that Xu Taifeng's 2 consecutive absences were due to illness, but his sudden reappearance without explanation has raised further questions about whether health concerns were merely a cover. At the same time, multiple other high-ranking military figures failed to appear at key events. Jiang Shengming did not attend the gala held on the evening of January 23rd, while Defense Minister Dong Jun did appear. Both Zhang Youxia and Zhenli were absent from both the seminar's opening ceremony and the gala. These coordinated absences quickly gave rise to rumors that Zhang Youxia and Zhenli had been arrested, with some claims extending to Jiang Shengming as well. On January 22nd, independent commentator Kai Shenkun published 3 posts on X that appeared to confirm the most extreme rumors. According to Kai, information from Beijing sources indicated that the Ministry of Public Security, the Central Guard Bureau, and internal discipline authorities had jointly carried out an operation targeting senior military figures. He claimed that a total of 17 senior generals, including Zhang Youxia, Zhenli, Xiao Tianliang, and Zhong Xiaojun, had been arrested. Kai further alleged that Zhang Yuxia's family members had been taken away and that a broader wave of detentions involving mid-level and younger generals was imminent. He stated that this information had already circulated internally among senior CCP officials, had been conveyed to provincial-level cadres on the afternoon of January 21st, and spread further on January 22nd, asserting that the intelligence was absolutely accurate. Despite these dramatic claims, other observers urged caution. Analyst Zhai Hongqiang said in a January 22nd program that after checking with his own Beijing sources, the rumors were false. According to Zhai, Zhang Youxia was not under detention and was actively engaged in restructuring the Central Military Commission. Zhai pointed out that among the 7 members of the Military Commission elected at the 20th Party Congress, only 3 remained in place, aside from Xi Jinping, leaving the military leadership severely understaffed and normal operations extremely difficult. Zhai emphasized that the scale of military cleanups over the past 2 years has been unprecedented since the founding of the CCP. At the 5th plenum of the 20th Central Committee, held from January 12th to 14th, 22 out of 133 Central Committee members came from the military system, yet 10 military members were absent, representing an absence rate of 45.5%. This already set a historical record. At the 4th plenum of the 20th Central Committee, held last October, the situation was even more striking. 27 out of 42 military Central Committee members were absent, an absence rate as high as 63%, including 22 full generals. According to Zhai, rebuilding the military leadership has become the CCP's top priority, and this task can only be handled by Zhang Youxia. However, Zhai said that internal conditions within Beijing headquarters are deeply compromised, forcing Zhang to travel personally to multiple theater commands to select candidates from frontline combat units. Zhai also revealed that Zhang Youxia does not typically work from the August 1 building, but instead maintains his office at the Western Hills Joint Operations Command Center in Beijing. This location, historically associated with Ye Jianying during the Cultural Revolution, is farther from Zhongnanhai and easier to defend, reinforcing the impression of heightened internal insecurity. Zhai added that Zhang Youxia and his father Zhang Zongshun were not as politically careless as figures such as He Weidong and Miao Hua, both of whom fell from power. Based on Zhai's informants, there were no clear signs that anything catastrophic had happened to Zhang Youxia. At the same time, Zhai stressed that Zhang Youxia is not without serious vulnerabilities. At 75 years old, he is the oldest among current senior leadership figures. He also personally participated in frontline combat in earlier wars, enduring harsh conditions that severely damaged his health. Since the 20th Party Congress, internal military struggles have intensified, placing enormous pressure on him. His poor health, Zhai noted, has long been an open secret within the military. Zhang is expected to retire next year and must complete the reshuffling of the military commission, including resolving the case of a candidate who has been missing for over a year and a half, an issue that reportedly requires his personal involvement. So-called Red Wall sources claim that Zhang Youxia's absence from meetings reflects his focus on rebuilding military leadership and managing potential health risks. However, signals from official media have further complicated the picture. On January 23rd, the PLA Daily's front page was almost entirely devoted to Xi Jinping. Meanwhile, the second page's Strong Military Forum carried a headline article titled, "Either guard against loopholes like a bull passing through, or guard against paper tigers failing to contain power." The article quoted Xi's remarks at the 5th plenum, warning that blurred boundaries and loophole-filled systems allow power to be easily exploited, and that even seemingly strict systems can fail to restrain mutated power, breeding corruption. Although the article did not mention Zhang Youxia by name, rumors of his arrest began circulating on January 20th, leading some observers to interpret the piece as a political signal. Adding to speculation, the Central Military Commission held an expanded meeting in Beijing on January 16th. Reports indicated that Jiang Shengming attended and spoke, but Zhang Youxia did not appear. On January 20th, a self-media account claimed that information released on January 17th directly targeted corruption in the Rocket Force, a Navy submarine base, and multiple Air Force equipment departments. It alleged that between 2023 and 2025, more than $2.8 billion in military procurement funds were misused. According to these claims, Rocket Force personnel diverted funds intended for missile procurement into real estate projects disguised as training grounds, building luxury clubs instead. As a result, ammunition supplies allegedly declined, and live fire training was reportedly cut in half. Similar problems were described within Navy and Air Force equipment systems, including inflated contracts, substandard equipment, grounded aircraft, disrupted pilot training, and the removal of multiple generals on January 17th for serious disciplinary violations.